At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
We need to say.
No matter how, feel happy to save at KFC with a Tabanka bucket. 7 pieces of mouth-watering chicken and 7 regular sides for only $107.
Good evening, everybody. It's a Monday evening, a beautiful Monday evening in Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm sure all over the world, wherever you're taking this in from. Welcome to another edition of the Varrego Warrior Woman series, Butterfly Edition. And tonight we have with us the amazing Penelope Spencer, who is another contributor of the book, one of the 15 women who shared their amazing stories with us. And something special about Penny, also known as Auntie Penny, because she actually helped Michelle give birth to this particular project by just giving it the go, saying to her, let's go with it. Let's just go with it. It's a brilliant idea. Let's just go with it. So, you know, many accolades and many thanks to Auntie Penny for that, encouraging Michelle to go ahead with this particular project and, of course, sharing her story with us. I myself took in the story, all of the stories, but when I read Penny's story, I was telling her earlier, I was in tears. I mean, I'm very emotional. But it's a beautiful story. So I encourage you to get your book. If you haven't already, make sure to sit down and read. But you know what? We have the lady in person here tonight. So without further ado, Auntie Penny, Penelope Spencer, Penny, Penelope, however people refer to her, she's definitely a name that is very, very known in Trinidad and Tobago. And in so many circles, we know this name. We hear this voice all the time. And to think that her chapter, her contribution to Varrego Warrior Woman is Finding My Voice. Such an interesting story. Welcome, Penny.
Thank you, Salene. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this.
It's such an amazing experience to read these stories, to share. And I know that when we share stories, we encourage other people. And you know, in Trinidad, it's a small space. Everybody knows everybody in Trinidad, and we tend to feel as though if I say something about myself, I'm letting too many people know about me, and so people will mind your business. But it's not about that. So many people learned from you, Penny, just from in the circle of your arts. Just from that, so many people learned from you. Finding My Voice. Tell me what inspired you to jump on this project, besides the fact that Michelle asked you about it in the first place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when she asked me about it and told me the idea, I thought it was such a fabulous idea. I mean, I was like, how come nobody ever thought about this? Mm-hmm. You know, accumulating all these women in one space to give their stories. I thought it was a fabulous idea. And being in the sort of limelight, I thought that I want to share my story. Mm-hmm. You know, I remember somebody said a comment some time ago that these 15 women are out there and famous. Why would you think that, you know, they would have a life that somebody want to hear about? Mm-hmm. You know, a sort of comment like that. And it is crazy because all these 15 women were born as little girls innocently. I didn't expect to be Penelope Spencer. I don't think Destra expected to be how she is now. When we were little girls, all we know, we wanted something good for ourselves, and we trod and we went through and we made it happen. You know, so this project is so fulfilling because I really want a lot of girls and women out there to know that they have similar people with similar stories out there.
That's right.
You
know? When Michelle when Michelle first called me about hosting the book launch, I didn't know what it was about. I saw the snippets, I saw different things happening on social media. but to be there and actually read the bios, see you all in person for the book launch, and then to read the stories. I felt so honored to have been in that space simply because I believe in authenticity. And it is because you're such prominent women in our society, and I'm sure that there are many more, and I'm sure that there might be another version of this book.
Yeah.
But, to pioneer something like this, as you said, you're surprised that somebody hasn't thought of it before.
Yeah.
People need to hear and they need to see the behind the scenes. They need to know the history
of these
what
lives.
brought people to where they are. So what I kept seeing in your, and I don't want to take away from what our readers are going to benefit from, but when you see that shut up and go inside, many of us females experienced that growing up. So let's talk about that for a second.
As I would always say, I think as the generation before us, or our mother's generation, or that generation before, always had, I think they had in mind that girls are supposed to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
And I think my mother came from that kind of background as well. Yeah. So finding your voice was really tough in my household, She would, you had an opinion to make, you had, it was usually cut down sometimes because it's all that, I don't want to hear you, you're too small to have an opinion, or you're too young, you don't know what you're saying. And it was always that kind of trial that you come from.
Yeah.
So, and I know this wasn't only my story.
Yes.
So I wanted to talk about that experience and help other women out there who went through it, who came from a place of hush and shutting up, and to know that you can be heard. You have a voice. You have a voice, and you can use it anytime, anywhere. I like in the end of my theater, my drama helped me to bring it out, help to release, help me to, So, finding my voice.
So, in terms of, we spoke about an experience that you had where your brother told you to shut up. So, men with the dominant voices, the men naturally have the dominant voice. And then you said that your mom was a very strict mother. Mm-hmm. Getting into something that's non-conventional like theater, is it safe to say that you stumbled into that?
Well, I stumbled into acting, because my mother, even though she had her faults, she had things like she would encourage you to express your creativity.
Oh,
so
awesome.
when I was 9 or 10, I would be dancing in the house, kicking down, breaking the ceramics, moving the chair. And she said, okay, that's it. I had enough. You are going to join Arawak's dance company and get out that creativity.
Awesome.
So I was so glad that she did that to me, for me, So that was the first step into the arts.
And to get that confidence to go out there.
And then I stumbled into acting. I always say I left Port San Fernando a dancer, and I came back an actor, because I went to audition for a musical, and the director at that time, he wanted actors to dance and singers to dance and act, and he asked me to read, and I read, and I got a really good part. So I kind of stumbled into theater, I would say.
Yes. But that's amazing. You see, it speaks to purpose, and sometimes we can't get away from our purpose at all. No matter how long it takes, we cannot evade that. And I love the fact that you went freely into it. You kept yourself open to it.
Yes.
You could have said, no, this is not what I came here for, and blocked it out altogether.
No.
But it came so almost naturally to you to do that.
Yes, because I was always willing. I'm that kind of personality. I will try anything, everything once.
Yes.
And feel it out. And it fit well with me, theater and acting. So I kind of stuck with it. But dance is always my first love.
And you still dance?
I hardly ever, but I dance alone. Some people sing in the bathroom. I dance in my bedroom.
Oh yes, dancing is, oh my gosh, it helps.
I'm always dancing, always dance. And I like to do plays where dance is incorporated, like Mary Could Dance
Oh my
and
gosh.
Jean and Dinah. You know, those
Mm.
are two plays that I love doing them because of the dance aspect of it. Yeah.
When I first heard of you as a teenager, when I first heard of you, it was America Dance, because my mom, God rest her soul, would always take us to these plays. And I am
Right.
always amazed by the talent that we have within this beautiful Twin Island state that we have here.
Yes.
And America Dance, every single showing that you all had, because you all had, there were several times that it would come back by popular demand.
It ran for 20 years. Yeah.
Oh my God. Every time we will go, and it will feel as though it's the first time I'm seeing it again. And your performance will always stand out. I forgot your name. I started calling you Mary.
Yes.
Because it's as though you assumed the role, you became that person. So tell me, in theater, what does it take for you to really get into character and identifying the character with your own personality? Do you have to make much of a shift?
You know, sometimes your character, you get a character and it's so aligned with sometimes with your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the running parallel, and some of the situations in America Dance was like my situation. Because when
Right.
Richard Ragobasing did the play, he drilled me about my life, because that life of that character is a girl leaving the country and coming into Port of Spain. And that's what kind of happened to me. You know, I left San Fernando and came into Port of Spain. And so the pain and the angst that that character had, I drew some of my personal experiences into it. So that's why, you know, it was, I embodied Mary, I embodied all her pain, and I used my experience to make it real, you know, and also, you know, so as an actor, that's what you do. You pull from whatever resources you have, and my true life story was
Yeah.
a good
Totally
story
get
to pull from.
So I just want to track back a little bit, because I want to know, if you're saying you were told to shut up and go inside, and you were able to move past that silence to become one of the strongest voices that we have in Trinidad and Tobago, what did it take for you to get past that silence? If
My
you were
son,
your
having a son,
Mhm.
having a child, having to be his voice for most of his time,
Right.
his life, you know, as a child, you know, you want to be able to let that child see that you are not a pushover. You want that child to see that you are strong. You know, I wanted my son to recognize my strength. And to do that, I had to find my voice.
Yes.
You know, I couldn't be that shy girl, that girl who, didn't want to talk. I mean, losing a voice is something else. I mean, just to go back a little bit about when I had been told shut up so much in my life, go inside and shut up. I didn't used to talk a lot, you know, I was very quiet.
Right.
And then you come into a space where you have to speak to people and have converse, and then you can't even pronounce some words, and you find people laughing at you. And being from South, was like I was so sheltered for a long time, you know.
Yeah.
So understanding, I wanted to get out of that. I wanted for myself, and as long as you want something for yourself, you can make it happen.
That's
You know,
right.
you have to find the strength. You have to find the different avenues. You have to find, you know, what are your limitations, Penny? Stop it, and how can we work on it?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, those are the kind of things that encouraged me and motivated me. I wanted to be a good mother to my son. I wanted him to see that I was a hero. I am a warrior.
Oh my
So,
God.
yeah, those things kind of propelled me.
Really, you're going to make me tear up again. I can't do that to other people live. No, but I totally agree with you, because being a mom myself, some of the things that I would not have ventured into in my youth, you find that you're doing it now because you want to give them that lesson.
Yeah.
And it's not so much about, yes, you want to accomplish these things and cross these barriers that you've created in your own mind, but it's really for them to see that they can cross these barriers too. So everything is for them.
Yes.
And that's when you recognize some of the strength, your own strength,
Exactly.
And that willpower to move forward, it's admirable. And I really, really hope that more of our women continue to do that.
And that's why we wrote, most of us wanted to do this book, because
Yes.
we really needed to motivate and inspire other women, about finding their self, finding their confidence, building their building up themselves, So that's why, a friend of mine read this book recently, and she said she could not put it down. It was
Exactly.
supposed to be a book of a month, and it ended up being book of the week because she
A
just
week, I read it in 2 days.
Yes, I know. I read it and I was inspired. God, I wanted to have a marker to cross off and write down and say, I must
Correct.
remember this and I must remember
Yes.
this. Because there's so much information in this book. And it could edify and propel any woman to be the best she wants to be.
That's right.
Because this, I love this book. I love the idea of the book. I love the woman in the book. I love the stories that they shared. And there's something for every and anybody. If you want to talk about work and being out there in the field of, there's a chapter about that. There's a chapter about children. There's a chapter about not having children. So it's wonderful.
What I love the most is that each of you came from different areas of life. So you're into the acting. We have Destra as an entertainer as well. So that's pretty similar to your genre.
Yeah.
But then we have the photographer, Laurie. Yes. We also have Sarah in terms of advertising. We have Shannon. The pilot. It's from different areas of life with a similar drive, which is to be the best that you can be, to inspire others, not just the women, because there are many men who can learn from this as well.
Yes, definitely.
So it's for humanity, and I just think it's incredible. What is in it? What not in just the Varrego series for you? Because I know this has been your baby too.
Yes,
in terms of encouraging it, and I love the fact that you encouraged Michelle to keep going with it. But in terms of your projects and the things that you are involved in moving forward, what's next for Penny Spencer?
Plenty of things. I'm in New York right now, and I'm just looking at the different possibilities they have over here. I am in the process of writing a book of poems for girls between 8 and 18. Awesome. Empowering poems and poems about finding your voice, finding yourself, believing in yourself. So I'm in the process of doing that. I am also working on Necessary Arts and doing another cycle because, Necessary Arts is my baby.
Of course.
Yes, we're doing another cycle. Our 28th cycle is coming in February. So I'm working on that. I am working on trying to do a year 2 in my camp, Tippy Tambo. I brought this camp to life last year summer. And it was a camp where we had children from 6 to 12 years old. And I pushed them to understand and love their country and their culture.
Yes, that's important.
Totally about. Because I just found so many children, so many young people are losing their identity and their Trinidadian identity, and they're gravitating to America and Jamaica, and those are the identity they all, So it is, that camp was really important to me that I did it, and I loved it, and I am really proud of that. So those are some of the things I'm working on.
Even the name Tippy Tambo, I haven't heard that in years, but I love it.
Camp Tippy Tambo, it was wonderful last year. Yes. I had so much support from like David Rudder and Wendell Manwaring and Errol Fabian and Rudy and Nikki and everybody just came on and imparted whatever knowledge they had. Ravi B came. All kind of people came from all different aspects of society. We had people from Tobago came and imparted the knowledge of Tobago. So I just loved it. And
at a time like this, with everything that we're experiencing globally and in the country, because this pandemic has literally taken over our lives, we have to fight to hold on to our identities as human beings, as the things that we want to pursue in terms of our personal goals and stuff. The part where you spoke about bringing back our culture and letting our youth know about it, because they're already not in the classroom.
Yeah.
So teachers are going to be doing, and I don't in any way want to take away from the hard work that our teachers are doing, but they're definitely going to do what they can do at this point in time. They're not doing any extras. They can't. And so with projects like Tippy Tambo, oh my gosh, because my children don't even know half of the things that we did in social studies growing
Of
up.
course, children don't know about Midnight Robber and Sukunia
No.
and Laja Bless and
No.
you know and all our heroes that we have in Trinidad.
Correct.
So all of these things I gave to the children. I imparted my knowledge and I brought in people because it's important to have our identity. We cannot lose. We are a unique country. Of course, we have a lot of nonsense going on, I must admit, but we have a lot of beauty in this country.
That's right.
We are a unique country, and I wanted our children to take pride in this.
Of
So
course.
that's why Camp Tippy Tambo is important, and it still is.
So is it done online?
Yes, it was totally online.
Right.
And what's beautiful about it, I had children from Canada, I had children from America, Barbados, I had children from Tobago, Point Fortin. You know, it was all over.
I was about to ask you that because it's online, if it is that it's kind of global, because then many people can learn about their own heritage because we have the diaspora.
Yep.
And people are living out there, they're having their kids outside there, and the children don't know anything about where they're from. So that is very timely, I must say, you know.
Thank you.
How any of the other Varrego stories have been, I know all of them have been inspiring for you. Any one in particular stands out, or any one from each of the stories? Anything that stands out for you from this entire compilation?
I think everybody had something. Like I've been thinking today, and I want to write a poem about and just call it Varrego, because each of these women had something to say that was valuable,
Yes.
that was encouraging. I cannot pick out one story. I'm seriously, and it's not because I don't want to pick sides. It's not like that. They all are valuable.
Everyone.
You know, they all are valuable.
Yeah.
You know, things that stand out to me like that I don't understand is losing a child. So that story by sorry, I can't remember. I'm horrible with names. Siobhan, you know? That was an amazing story. I mean, I don't know how could I live through that after. Or like Nikki's story, not being able to
have
conceive children.
Yeah.
Or this first struggle to get on stage. And she sit down waiting, and nobody calling her name. Hello. Or Anya Young Cheese story. Wonderful stories. You know, AP story, Shannon, we're going to be a pilot. She brave, huh? So I was like, oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
And Miss Pandey and Shelley Das, their stories, they're all encouraging, all of them.
You know what stood out for me with all of your stories, because you're a popular woman and we only know what we see from the public viewpoint. And in reading each of these stories, for me, there was an, oh my God, are you kidding me moment in every single story for me, because it's like I had no idea.
Yes.
And what it did for me, and I'm sure it did for many others who have read the book, is to show you that you're a human just like the rest of us.
Exactly.
You know, that any challenge that we are experiencing in our lives, go through the process.
Yeah.
You might be messed up right now, but go through the process. Keep going, because you're going to find that pot of gold, as we like to refer to it, at some point in time. And getting the pot of gold easily is not as much fun as if you went through the fire to get it, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, you need to get scarred. You need to fall and bruise up your knee. You need to get back up on the horse. You know, we need, I mean, Michelle's story, you know, excellent story. They all got back up on. They didn't say, I'm down and I'm staying down. I suppose if they were down and staying down, we wouldn't be in the book. Because
I wish I could get this message, or that this message can be shared with our women in like the rural communities, because they oftentimes don't have access to social media.
Yeah.
And so hearing or seeing people who have come from their own communities share their stories and see where you are now is very encouraging for not only the young women, but even the women, the mothers in those communities.
Of course.
You know, it's never too late.
Yes.
Never too late to accomplish your dreams, your goals. Just keep going after it.
You see, sometimes we let fear confine us. A lot of women, fear is just it's like this big weight on their chest and they feel like they can't move. And I'm telling you, I'm very fearful. It's one of my things that I'm fighting every day. That being afraid. Yes, being afraid. I mean, the thoughts that go through my head sometimes, like I just stop it. I have to call Jesus.
I'm telling you, because for years, people have been telling me, you should be in media. And I've been in finance for all this time until when I turned 40, I'm like, that's it. I'm going to do it. I'm just doing it.
Excellent.
And it's really scary because it's only been 4 years now. And I'm like, what did I do?
I know. It could be scary, but you have to.
There are people that I look up to.
Heart.
Yeah.
Fulfill your heart's desire.
Yeah.
Fulfill your soul. Feed your soul. Feed your soul with things that you love.
That's right.
Not that what love you or what can make you
correct
financially
correct.
Happy. You wouldn't believe the joy. I am not a millionaire by far, but the joy that I feel when a child performs a piece or feels gratified because they did a dramatic presentation and they're like, Auntie Penny, thank you. Auntie Penny, I was lovely. And I felt so good. Those are the things that inspire me. And
the young lady at the book launch who did your piece, I saw her. Yeah. She was fantastic. She was a little shaky at first as any young girl, but it was fantastic.
Yes.
That resilience, that was the best part of her performance. I mean, the entire performance was great, but that was the best part. But I glanced across at you, and I saw you just encouraging her there, mouthing the words for her to continue, and the beam on your face. I mean, it was just awesome. It was just awesome.
Lovely. I mean, see, that's the kind of things that I love, and I feel fulfilled.
Yes.
When because she stumbled and I said, go on, don't stop. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. And that's what I want. I want this book Varrego to do for women.
Right.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep moving towards your dream. You will get obstacles and people pulling your back and but you have to go. You have to go. You have to feel fulfilled.
Yes, absolutely. So anything you want to share with the listeners tonight about being a Varrego? I mean, we looked at what a Varrego is in terms of the actual definition. Let me read it for our listeners. A Varrego is a noun and it's a woman of great stature, strength, and courage. There's a second meaning.
Yes.
And a loud, overbearing woman.
Yeah. She's loud and she's overbearing because she had enough. She had enough. And she wants to open her mouth and bring out the warrior in her, bring out the hero in her.
Correct.
So it's all good and it's all positive. And that's what I love about Michelle. She did not stray away from the negativity of the world. We embraced it, yes. Loud mouth. Listen,
loud doesn't necessarily have to be angry.
Negative. No, exactly.
Correct.
No, we're saying our say. We're saying our say. We're giving our piece.
Yeah.
We are, and we're encouraging others to give our piece. I know. Michelle we're going to Barbados with this book to get Bajan women to say their story, give us their stories. We want to go to Jamaica for the Jamaican, the Caribbean. We have to get strong, resilient women who are powerhouses to talk and encourage others because that's important.
Very, very important.
Yeah. Because for far too long, women have been second-class citizens. And
we have made strides, huh? We've made strides, but much work to be done. Yes, much work to be done. And I want to thank you and all of the other Varregos for the contribution and the constant work because it's ongoing. You all didn't just sit down and write this chapter and say, okay, I'm done, No. You wrote it. You put your heart into it. You produce the book. You do it through your own day's work every single day, each of you. And it's amazing. And I'm sure we'll have more Varregos coming out of Trinidad and Tobago as a result and the world. So I wish to thank you very much for sparing the time to chat with us here in the Varrego Warrior Woman series.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing more work from Necessary Arts. Well, I feel I could call you Auntie Penny from this evening, you know.
Yes. But thank you for all the Facebook people who are giving their comments. Love it, love it, love it.
Oh, yes. Fantastic. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Right. So this was a beautiful conversation. Looking forward to chatting with you again, Auntie Penny. And wishing you the very best out there in New York City. Keep warm, okay?
Yes, I will. And keep
you some sunshine.
Yes.
Thank you to everyone. Do you want to say anything to the listeners before we close off?
Listeners, get Varrego. It's a wonderful investment for your daughters, your sister, your mother. Get Varrego. I am sure that you will agree with me after reading this book. So that's the one thing I want to share.
Absolutely.
Get Varrego.
Yes, and I love your earrings.
Thank you. Maria Bola.
Really?
Yes.
They're really nice. Really,
That's
really
some
nice.
wonderful earrings. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's a wrap for this evening. We want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to this lovely conversation, finding your voice. We encourage you also to find your voice as we move forward as women, as girls, as sisters, as mothers. Let's continue to find our voice and lift each other's voices as well as we continue to be warrior women, Varregos. Thank you.
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest varieties, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
We need to say.
No matter how, feel happy to save at KFC with a Tabanka bucket. 7 pieces of mouth-watering chicken and 7 regular sides for only $107.